Hey guys, Lone Hawk here, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to show you how to perform a fast cold start on the A-18C Hornet. This cold start procedure is stripped down from the full one so that you can get your aircraft in the air and ready to fight as fast as possible. So if you do enjoy this video, please hit the like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel as this does help me out a lot. Alright, let's get flying. First up, we'll go through the controls that you're going to need. Throttle right idle, throttle left idle, control stick, hide show, Fcs Bit Switch, and Canopy open and close. Okay, so now that we've covered the controls, let's get the aircraft started. So the first thing you want to do is head over to the right console to the battery switch, and we want to turn it on. Next, we want to shut the canopy. Now the canopy switch is a little bit hidden, but you can actually still use it through the fuselage, which does help a lot. So to shut it, you left or right click and hold. You can also use left control and C to open and close the canopy. With the canopy shut, we will head over to the left console to the APU switch, and we will turn it on. It takes about 10 to 15 seconds for the APU to fully spool up, and once it's ready, this green light here will illuminate. Now that the green light's on, we can begin to start the engine. So we want to head over to the engine crank switch. Now we want to start the right engine in the F-18 first. So we'll right click on the switch and put it to the right position. You can then head over to the IFE, and you'll notice that the RPM of the right engine is going up. Once it passes 15%, you can then set the right throttle to idle, which will begin introducing fuel into the engine, and will allow the RPM to go above 30% and the temperature will rise. We want to wait until the engine stabilizes at 65% RPM, and we've heard an audible warning indicating that the engine has fully started up.
Roll left, roll left.
Okay, so that's the audible warning there that you can hear. And now that that engine has stabilized at 65%, we can crank the left engine by left clicking. And again, back to the IFE and watching the RPM of the left engine. And now that it's above 15%, we can set the left engine to idle. Now with the left engine, it doesn't have an audible warning once it stabilizes at 65%, so you just have to watch the RPM. So while that's happening, we'll turn on all the DDIs and the HUD. So first, we want to head over to the left DDI and click it twice to turn it on to day mode, and then to the right DDI and do the same. Now to turn the HUD on, you need to scroll the brightness knob here all the way to full, and you'll notice the HUD has come on. And then with the bottom DDI, or the AMPCD screen, we need to turn its brightness knob all the way to full. Now that the screens are turning on in the background, we will get rid of the control stick so we can see the bottom screen for later, and we'll head over to the right console. Now we want to turn the radar on the aircraft, so you switch the radar switch to operate, and then we need to begin an INS alignment of the aircraft. Now the F-18, being that it can land on a carrier or on land, has two main options. The first is CV, which is for carrier-based operations, and ground, which is for land-based operations. As we're on land, we'll set it to ground, and then we can head back over to the bottom DDI, and you'll see that the ground alignment timer for the INS system has begun at the bottom. Once that is complete, there'll be an OK in the right hand corner. So while that's aligning, we will head over to the left DDI and push the menu button once to take us to the support screen. We then want to head to the FCS page, and you'll notice that on some of the control surfaces there are crosses through them. We need to remove those crosses before we can take off. So to do that, you perform an FCS reset using the FCS reset button just below the throttles. So you just push it in for 1 or 2 seconds, then release, go back to your DDI, and you'll notice that all the crosses have gone. Now we head over to the right DDI to the bit page and go to FCS MC. Now we need to get all 4 of these options to say go. So to do that, we have to perform an FCS bit test. To perform an FCS bit test, you have to push the FCS button here and the FCS bit switch down here. Now they have to be pushed simultaneously. So you can either left click and hold the FCS bit test now, and then right click on the FCS button, or you can use a keyboard command set to the FCS bit switch and then left click on that, which is what I will do. So now that we've done that, you'll notice that 2 of them now say in test, And on the left DDI, the control surfaces are moving. So if you just look out the window, you can actually see that the control surfaces are moving on the aircraft. Once that is complete though, you'll hear the audible tone and they will all say go. So next we want to turn on the RWR, the radar warning receiver, the electronic countermeasures. Now they're not implemented in the F-18 yet, but we'll still turn it to standby as it's good practice. Next is the dispenser switch. It has two main options on, which gives you manual, semi-automatic or fully automatic programs for the aircraft to control your chaff and flare, or bypass, which gives you full manual control over chaff and flare systems of the aircraft. So now we want to head back down to the bottom DDI, and you can see that the ground alignment has completed by this OK being displayed. So we then want to head back to the INS switch and select nav. That is the same for both carrier and shore-based operations. With that set, we can now uncage our standby attitude indicator. You can see that it's caged by the red off flag on the right hand side. To uncage it, you simply mouse wheel over this pull to cage knob and just mouse wheel either up or down, and you'll notice that the red off flag will disappear. Now we want to set our radar altimeter. To do that, you scroll over this push to test, and for carrier-based operations, you set it to 375 feet, which is approximately there, and for shore base, you set it to 450 feet, which is approximately there. There are a few other options that you can set and turn on. They're not needed just to start the aircraft up, taxi, and take off if you just want to fly around. But if you do want to get into dogfights and stuff like that, they are definitely needed. So you have your IFF, which we will turn on. That is basically your friend or foe identifier. You can have your TACAN, which you basically, let's say, push 72 and enter. You turn that on if you're going to use TACAN. Your ILS, you can set the channel for that. And again, you then hit enter and on. Data link, you definitely want to turn on. So you just push and hold the on button. Next, we can arm the ejection seat. And lastly, turn our OBOGs on. Okay, so now the aircraft is ready to taxi and take off. So I do have a tutorial on them, so please head over and check them out. And if you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, as this does help me out a lot. And until next time, thanks for watching.